All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And got a box today that looks like somebody used it as a seat cushion. So we're going to check to see, make sure that the comic is, knock on wood, okay. So we're going to do my usual live unboxings. It is a key issue. It's a book that I keep finding. It's a rare book. It's a modern book. And I cannot stress enough. This is a book I would highly recommend people acquire if they can get it. Prices have gone down a little bit, but in my opinion, that's the time to strike. Whether you do or not, that is up to you. So while we're waiting for people to come in, if you look in the live chat, I just posted a link. I actually did it twice. We'll find out who's naughty and nice. A link to my mystery boxes. If you're looking to order any of those, just go to my website by clicking on that link. The link is also in the description. It will take you to a website where you'll see a bunch of pyramids. That is the right website because I make those custom. Just scroll down to the bottom and you'll see the mystery comic boxes. If you do a live unboxing, send me a link and I will post a link to my most recent video and hopefully get you a couple of subscribers and at least some viewers. So hopefully you'll check that out. But I do packages anywhere from each mystery box has 20 comics. So a basic package is $25, which is basically generic comics, but you'll get more than what you're paying for in the value of the comics, all the way up to a platinum package of $5,000, and you're going to get some good comics in that. If you want to see some previous purchasers of my mystery boxes on YouTube, a couple of people did some unboxing videos. Just in the search engine of YouTube, just go to, just type in We Love Comics Mystery Box, and you'll see some of the comics that you can potentially get. If you want, for example, all DC or all Marvel, or you want it mixed or something, let me know. I'll try and accommodate as much as possible. Other than that, I cannot guarantee any specific book. Especially the larger packages, they may be signed books, they may be Golden Age, they may be graded. Really depends. So give it a try, and I promise you it will be worth your while. So if you want to critique the AI art, always appreciate those who spend the time in the comments section, positive or negative. If you want to join my Patreon and help support me and also support the 20 to 25 stray cats I take care of twice a day, every day, rain or shine, and you want your name on this little thumbnail here and shout out every single video, just go to patreon.com/we love comics. We have 12 Patreon members. Really appreciate the 12 that are helping to support my channel. And if we can get to 20 paid members, I'm going to give those giveaways. So hopefully we'll try and build that up. So uh, there is no minimum to join other than what the minimum is on Patreon, which is $2 a month. But let's give a shout out to Carl Sith, Scott, Michael B, Kevin W, James R, Herbert R, Dan L, Kim N, Annabelle N. If you have Facebook, check out Darth Bleak. His name handle is Stephen L. Turk Author. Let him know We Love Comics sent you. He is giving away a signed book. He is a writer of a book. That's why it's Stephen L. Turk Author. He just wrote a book. He's writing a series of books, and he's got the first one completed. He's actually doing a contest where he's giving away the first issue of his book signed for somebody that watches the video that I did about a week and a half ago, and also signs up on their Facebook page. So he'll pay for the shipping, and he will sign the book for you. So check out the video I did about a week and a half ago. And if you sign up on his Facebook page, tell him We Love Comics sent you. And then last but not least, if you have Instagram, go to _comics. And again, let him know We Love Comics sent you. The reason I go the order that I go is the person that has the highest monthly amount always goes last. So that honor as of now belongs to _comics. And like you saw in the last two people, if you don't want your name mentioned, because I won't give somebody's full name, I don't want to give people's personal information out. I'll just do their first name. But if you prefer me to do like I did the last two mentions, either a link to a social network or maybe an eBay store or anything like that, just let me know in advance and I have no problem doing that. So if you look right here, if we get 20 paid members, I'm going to start doing some giveaways. You could pause that to check out all the different levels. And like I said, it's only a minimum of $2 to join any Patreon. but you'll get a one entry for every $2 you put into the We Love Comics monthly account. So if you do $10, you'll get 5 entries. 20, you get 10, and so on. But you can go as the minimum of 2. You'll get at least 1 entry as soon as we can get to 20 paid members. And then last but not least, I'm trying to get a trade done. Haven't gotten one yet. I've been close to about a year since I've been trying to do this, but hey, I'll keep going until it happens. So if you have or know anybody that has one of these books or another book that you think I might like, please contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com and check out my video I did about a month ago of all the comics I am willing to trade. If it takes all of them to get one of the books and it's a fair trade, I have no problem with doing that. So if you have an extra copy maybe, or you're sick of having one of those books and you want to get a whole bunch of books for one, just let me know. Like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great way for two people that may not have thousands of dollars to buy these kind of books and don't want to spend $300, $400, $500 extra in taxes and don't want to have to report anything to IRS because trades are not taxable. This is a great way to go. So I'm going to keep doing it until I get it done. So if you have any of those books, contact me and let's get that going. All right. So I see a couple of people are here. We got Punisher XS and Pino. Welcome to the live chat. I don't get a lot of viewers, but I get quality over quantity. So it doesn't matter if there's one person or 100. I appreciate you. So thank you for being in the live chat. Even if you're not subscribed, come check out the live chat because I always do a surprise subscriber shout out at the end of the video. And all you have to do is at least have one mention in the live chat and I could pick you out and get that shout out for you. So here's this lovely box. It literally looks like somebody driving, especially, I mean, look at this. Driving the truck decided to use this as their pillow because maybe they forgot theirs at home. So this thing has seen better days. The good thing is it's only one comic. It's not a graded comic, so I don't have to worry about and I'll start opening while I'm talking. I don't have to worry about a case being cracked or anything. But as usual, when I buy a comic, I always ask on eBay if they could please put it in a box, make sure it's protected, and they did just that. I mean, like I've shown before, it doesn't always work, but this time it did. I mean, look at this. This person went above and beyond. So I always appreciate those that do the extra effort. And I asked them if they could put several pieces of cardboard, and I explained the situation. They had no problem with doing that. Like I said, it doesn't always happen, but at least you mention it so they can't say, they didn't know. Because never assume that somebody that's selling on eBay knows how to sell stuff. Because, like you saw the other day, and I'm sure many of you have had this happen where you get the padded envelope with no protection. And I've had comics, and I'm sure you've had comics if you've purchased through the mail that way that have been either potentially destroyed, and you have the fear of it while you're opening it, or comics that actually got destroyed. So if you're a person that's ever gotten the manila envelope of death, put your story in the comments section and let us know what happened to the comic. Did it survive? Or if it got damaged, did you at least get your money back? So they did put some minor protection, but they did put it in a box and they taped it shut and they actually used painter's tape. I appreciate that because that stuff is a heck of a lot easier to get open than regular tape. And by the way, shout out to one of my subscribers that just made their final payment for their auction. I won't mention it who it is, but if they want to mention it either in the live chat or in the comments section, they can. But your comic, and I already emailed you, but I already mailed out the comic, so they paid for it earlier today. I made sure it was mailed out today, priority. So you'll probably get it either Monday or Tuesday. And they put cardboard on both sides, and again with the painter's tape, and I appreciate that. So you can see they taped it in front of a live audience, and they did the smart thing. They folded it like I do, so you can actually grab it, making it easier. So this person did a excellent job. Now, would they have done this before I mentioned it? Who knows? But now I don't have to worry or assume or end up getting a manila envelope. All right, so this is supposed to be high grade. Definitely looks like it is. I mean, I know there was a tiny little corner rub on the bottom, but they said at least a 9.2, so we'll see what happens. But let's open this up because we're going to check. So this is the book. What a surprise, right? Because I've gotten many of these. Back looks really good, but of course, and we want to verify, Mark Jewelers. I want to make sure the coupon isn't cut out or written on. So it's not. And I got a really good deal for this one. Okay, so this is at least, it does have one or two non-color breaking creases. So pressing is absolutely going to be needed for this book. It's got white pages. Looks good. So absolutely we'll get this book pressed and dry cleaned just to make sure. But this person, and I guess because the movie is now, I mean, it's not officially over because I think it's still in the theaters, but the price has gone down a little bit. And like I tell people, that's not the time to sell, that's the time to buy. And I bought one of these that I did get graded, and it came back a 9.2 that I spent, I think, around $860 on. I got a much better deal on this one. So before I mention the price I paid for this is at least, from what the seller said, a 9.2, could be potentially higher with the pressing. So this is a New Mutants 98 first Deadpool newsstand Mark Jewelers variant. This is about 5 to 7% of the total print run. This is now my, I believe, third copy of this. One of them I did sell, so I have two of these left. But these are not, there's not a lot of these out there because remember, I've said it in previous videos, a Mark Jewelers variant has between about 5 and 7% of a total print run. And the full print run was only around between 750 and 850,000 comics. Now, people will say, oh, well, that's not a small amount. Sure. But remember, this book came out in the early 90s, I believe either 91 or 92. So it's been a couple of decades since this book has been out. So the chances of books being lost, being stolen, being damaged, having the coupons taken out, especially when you're talking a newsstand and a Mark Jewelers, just makes it rarer and rarer. That's why, I mean, this won't be a 9.8. But a 9.8 Mark Jewelers sells for over $10,000. So if you want to put in the live chat, or if you're watching this later, what would be the maximum amount you would have paid for this book? So again, yes, the price is going down a little bit because the movie's pretty much over at this point, but Deadpool's not over with. He's going to be pretty much a headliner in the next phase of the MCU and beyond, as long as they can have Ryan Reynolds play him. I mean, this character's not done. And Disney may finally learn their lesson that if they actually give the fans what they want, people will pay money to go to see the movie. So there is no, I always hated when people said, superhero fatigue. Well, for example, um, the Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, made over $1 billion. That's not comic book fatigue. So Pino says 400. That would be an incredible deal for a high grade for a Mark Jewelers variant, but I can tell you right now, you're not going to find a Mark Jewelers variant high grade New Mutants 98 for 400. I got my 5.5 for about 467. This is upper 9. So I understand you would be willing to pay up to 400 for that Pinot, but I can tell you right now, for a Mark Jewelers variant and high grade, you're not going to get it for that price. If you find one, buy it. If you can get a 9.0, actually, if you get a 7.5 or higher Mark Jewelers variant for 400, buy it in an instant. So Life is Good says 619.42. That's a very specific amount. So if somebody offered you 619.43, would you have turned it down? Because technically, you said 619.42 is the highest you would go. So if you're going to be that exact, you never know. That extra penny could make or break a deal. So let's put it this way. This person started out at $750, which is actually still cheaper than what I originally paid for my original one that came back at 9.2. I waited on it. I did an offer of 500, turned it down. I'm like, okay, no problem. Good luck with the sale. If you change your mind, let me know. So then he sends me a message about a couple of days later, and he sends me an offer of 650, which is $100 off what he originally wanted. And I said, thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm just not looking to go that high. I put, again, the offer for 500, and they said they just declined it. Another couple of days goes by, sends me a message, another offer for 550. So I say, I appreciate it. 500 is the best I can do. Person actually messaged me and says, can you do 525? So I'm like, you know what? For $525 for a high grade New Mutants 98 Mark Jewelers variant, I went for it. So with shipping and handling, it came out to $561.75. So for me, the difference of $25 was not going to make or break it. But this person started out at $750, which for a high grade New Mutants 98 is not a bad price, because a 9.2 sells for about between $1,200 and $1,300. So, but of course that's graded. So you are going to pay less for a raw copy. And of course there is no guarantee of the grade, but keep in mind it could also be higher than a 9.2. But at $561.75 with taxes and shipping, I bought that no brainer. So obviously I'm going to be getting this one graded. And I keep, as you can see, like I've said before this year, I owned, and not even trying to get them, they just happen to be Mark Jewelers variants. I've only owned two of them before this year. And neither one of them, I even knew what they were until later on, a couple of years after coming back, probably around probably about 2017, 2018 is when I first even heard of a Mark Jewelers variant and actually went through all of my comics and only found two of them. So it's not like I sought them out and tried to purchase them. Now I own probably 30, 35 of them. Now, as I keep telling people, there's a lot of Mark Jeweler variants out there. They started around the mid 70s and stopped around the early to mid 90s. So there's a lot of generic comics that have Mark Jewelers that really aren't worth anything. Like you can find them on eBay right now for $5. But when you're talking key issues, I know there are some big books that have Mark Jewelers variants. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 129, First Punisher, has a Mark Jewelers variant. Hulk 181 has a Mark Jewelers variant. Books like this as well. So, especially the older the book is, the less likely, especially in high grade, that you're going to find them still available. So, if you can get your hands on a key issue Mark Jewelers variant for a reasonable price, and like I say, wait for deals and make deals happen. Like I said, this book at 750 would have been a good price because that's about $100 less than what I originally paid for my first one. And that was ungraded and it came back a 9.2, which I sold in my auctions. Didn't make a lot of profit on it, but I wasn't looking to get the maximum dollar amount from my buyers. I want to make sure they have room as well. But for me to end up, even after two times of them sending me a message of an offer, and I stood my ground, because the way I look at it as, since I've been unemployed since October, my business of being able to pay for bills comes from me selling comics. So if I can't get a good enough deal to where it's worth my time, I'm just not going to do it unless it's a really rare book or it's a book I really want, like one of the books I'm trying to trade for. So I have the mindset of I have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Because if I ask for my specific price and I don't get it, you know, there'll always be another opportunity around the corner. Now, when it comes to rarer books like this, they're not as frequent, especially in high grade. But since I already own two of them, I can let one slip by if I have to. And when that person, even though I was trying to get it for 500, when the person came back at 525, I was like, you know what? That is okay with me because it's basically $225 off of what the original price was listed as. And that's a good significant amount. Now, not every seller is going to be that way. But if you go into trying to buy comics with an attitude of, oh, I got to have it now for the fear of missing out, you're going to pay through the nose. And yeah, you might like it. It might be something that you've always wanted. But my thing is, why can't you have something you like that you've always wanted, but also get it at a cheaper price? Now, like Pino wanted to offer 400, like I said, in a high grade, you're not getting it for 400. If you're getting that book for 400, the person does not know what they're selling, and you absolutely just got to steal from somebody that didn't know what they were selling. That, like, for example, thought it was just a regular New Mutants 98 and didn't even bother to open it up or didn't know what a Mark Jewelers was. And that's why I always tell people, if you are going to invest or speculate in anything, make sure you know what you're doing. Because, like I said, when I was first collecting comics, I had two Mark Jewelers, didn't even know it. I didn't even know what those were. So I had to learn about that. So just imagine how many missed opportunities I had in that time period when I didn't even know they existed. So the more information you know about the things that you are trying to speculate or invest in, the better chances of being able to discover things that most people don't know about. So go into any sale purchase with the idea of, well, if I don't get it, there'll always be another opportunity. Unless it's something that's so rare and the price is near what you're looking for and it's a fair price and you think it's time to jump because maybe the price has dipped a little bit and you think now is the time to take advantage of that opportunity, pounce on it. But I always go with the attitude of, yes, I would love the book, but I don't need it. And if I can't get a decent enough price to where I can work on it, because when I do my auctions, if you watch my channel and you see the auctions that I do, let's say the lowest amount a book is sold on eBay for is $2,000. I will sell it purposely for around $1,900, $100 less than the lowest sold on eBay, because I want to make sure I am able to give some wiggle room for the people who buy from me. I don't want to say, all right, well, the lowest one sold on eBay was 2,000, so that's where I'm going to sell it at. I go about $100 below. So the more discount I can get when I purchase them, the more flexible I can be with selling my comics for lower than what the lowest is on eBay that's been sold. So, not everybody's buying comics to turn around and flip them or turn around and sell them. Like you see with me, I don't buy a book and then the next day I'm selling it. There's books I've had for decades. So I will get it graded because I prefer, if you look at my auctions, especially the past three or four of them, I like to sell only graded books. So this way people know and they don't have to guess. Like if you saw the video the other day, and I'm actually going to crack that one open because that Amazing Spider-Man 238 that looks like at least a 9.2 was graded a 7.5. And there was just, like, I'll show you. I mean, there are no color break increases at all. No bends. The colors pop out. No corner or side damage. And again, with the back, there's no black scuffing. Again, look at the edges are nice and sharp. And look, this is the only grader's notes. So, of course, it's not a 9.8. But I think this is one of the few times that I think in the 6.5 years I've been grading books with PGX, there were 3 times that I did not agree with the grading. Technically 2, because one of them was just they forgot to add on the Hulk 181. It did not have a Marvel value stamp and they forgot to mention it. So that wasn't a grade issue. That was just a mistake. I could have taken advantage of that, but I'm just not that kind of dishonest seller. So I've only had, when you're talking 4 books every month for almost 7 years, to have only 2 books where you question the grade, that's a pretty good ratio. But this is the third. I really think this should be much higher than a 7.5. So I think I'm going to crack this one open because I looked this over and the greatest notes say multiple stress lines along the spine, cover and edge wear. I can't even see the cover and edge wear. And I do not see, and I'll show you, there is not one spine tick, which means that it would have to be, and that's not a spine tick right there. That's part of the design. But I'll show you. So whatever is on there is on the very edge. That doesn't warrant. And again, look at the corners. And that's okay. Sometimes people grade stuff and they're giving their opinion, and that could be, you know, disagreed upon. So I think I'm going to crack this one open and resubmit it. And I really think it deserves higher than a 7.5. But again, for this one to be in the mid to lower nines, and again, depending on pressings and dry cleanings, because like I said, I saw the back, and it's got one or two pressable defects. To me, this one was a no-brainer for that price. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. As you could see, I'm a fan of New Mutants 98 because they don't print them anymore unless you buy like the reprints or anything, but the original ones they don't make anymore. Yes, there's a lot of copies of it, but again, the total print run was about 725, I believe, to 850,000. They don't have an exact total print run. And that's when it first came out in 1991 or 1992. How many of them are still left? Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, for about 15, 20 years after this book came out, nobody cared about it. As a matter of fact, I bought 2 copies of this when they first came out. I bought them the day they came out, 2 copies. Everybody cared about New Mutants 87 at that time, which was the first appearance of Cable. That was the big book. I had one of the copies where I had the crates of books that weren't worth anything that I felt didn't need to be in bags and boards because, I had literally thousands of comics and I just didn't have enough bag and boards for everything. So, like, dollar bin and 25-cent books, I just put without a bag and a board in large storage bins. And one of my New Mutants 98s was in there. That's how unimportant that book was for 15, 20 years before it became what it is today. So how many of them got damaged? How many of them got thrown out? And then you're talking newsstand variants. How many of those are still left? Now you're talking newsstand Mark Jewelers. How many of those are still left in high grade and intact? So Algorithm says the white box to the high of the comic, is that a color break? Are you talking the Amazing Spider-Man 238? The white box to the right of the comic. I'm not sure. Are you talking about this? Because there's no color break. Or if you're talking this side, again, you could see no color break. I mean, there is a minor color break right there that goes up maybe a half an inch, but that wouldn't warrant a 7.5. That's the only color break that I've actually been able to see. And again, look at the corner. This is the book from like around 83. Oh, I was right, 83. You're talking almost 40 years. But we'll find out. I mean, if it comes back to 7.5 again, then I know that's what it's supposed to be. But, hey, remember, when you get any book graded, it's based on somebody's opinion. Somebody could have an off day. Somebody could have just a difference of opinion. So, doesn't hurt me to get it rechecked. Now, if it was something where it was a minor thing where, it would be risky to do it, I wouldn't do it. White box with red letters. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, no color breaks, because those are not color breaks. See, those are designs. Those are not color breaks. Because as you could see, he's ripping the mask apart. So those lines are supposed to show that he's tearing the mask. So those are not color break increases. See on both sides? Because as you can see, it's right where the mask is ripping apart. So I understand what you're saying. So those kind of look like color breaking creases, but they're not. They're part of the artwork. So, and again, I'll show you one of the major corners of any book. I mean, I just can't see this one. And like I said, 4 books every month for going on 7 years to have now this is the third book that I'm questioning the grade. That's not a bad ratio. You know, you go to any company and send 4 books in every month for 7 years, and you tell me how many books are going to be graded in grades that you might disagree with. So I'm going to take the chance on that and get that one regraded. I'm absolutely sending this in to get graded. So let me know, would you have bought this? Again, with shipping and handling and with taxes, it came out to $561.75. This is a Mark Jewelers variant. I did open it up to verify it. It does have 1 or 2 non-color breaking creases on the back, but a pressing will fix that. Corners look sharp. So I would say this is easily between a 9.0 and a 9.4, maybe a 9.6, depending on how good they can get the pressing out. So I would say between a 9.0 and a 9.6, depending on the pressing results. But even at a 9.0, for the price I paid for this for Mark Jewelers, very happy with that. Learn about your comics. Learn about values. I mean, like for example, if I say what kind of price would you pay for something, of course, I mean, who wouldn't want to buy that for $1 like it originally was? But you're not going to find it. If you do, there are deals out there because, like you saw with the video I did yesterday with the 4 books that I got back, I did get a New Mutants 98. It was graded a 9.2, I believe. Let me see. I still have the ones from yesterday. Yeah, it was graded a 9.2, but I paid $58 for it. And I bought that this year. So deals are out there. But when you're talking a Mark Jewelers variant, you're going to get them. So they're very rare. And especially if you're going to buy something like, because so many people say, oh, stay away from New Mutants 98 because it's not a rare book. Again, 850,000 is the maximum amount of the print run when it came out. For the first 15, 20 years of that book's existence, nobody cared about it. It would have been in the dollar bin and no one would care. But when you're talking the newsstand variant, and then you're talking on top of that, the Mark Jewelers variant, you're talking in high grade, how many of them are left? Maybe you're talking 100, 150, maybe 200. That's why if you look up New Mutants 98 Mark Jewelers at a 9.8, you're going to see it for sale $10,000 and up because it's the rarity. And then you have on top of it the first appearance of Deadpool, which, as you could see with the last movie, has a lot of fans. And the more they keep doing the right thing, especially with that character in future movies, the more people are not only going to come back, but how many new fans are there going to be of Deadpool? And those new fans, how many of them are going to want to buy comic books of Deadpool? And of those, how many of them will want his first appearance? And since they don't print these anymore, your print run stays here, the fandom goes like this. So this gets harder and harder to get. That's why prices go up. And that's why people have to think long term, not just these little dips and rises. That's normal in any healthy system. You never see a stock market go straight up or straight down. Because if you do in either direction, something's wrong. The economy's something's wrong with it going straight up, and something's wrong if it's going straight down. So you want to see fluctuations. The idea is to not get nervous. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be afraid and you're going to panic sell or panic buy at the wrong times. Again, if you like buying books, that's great. Buy what you love, but why not buy what you love at a cheaper price? So I can buy what I love and not overpay. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So once again, let's give a shout out to our shout outs. Check out one of my mystery boxes, ladies and gentlemen. I just put the link in the live chat. It's also in the description. Um, Anywhere from a basic mystery box of $25 up to a platinum package of $5,000 and many in between. You can get some amazing books with that. So if you want to be one of my Patreon members and get a shout out every single video, go to patreon.com/we love comics. Once we get to 20 people that join, there will be giveaways that I'm giving away. You'll get one entry for every $2 you put into your We Love Comics Patreon account per month. And I'm looking to do some trades. So if you want to have a trade with me and you have one or any of these books and you want to get any of my comics, I mean, you could ask for this New Mutants 98 Mark Julius variant. And if it's something that I am willing to trade to get something from you, I'll think about it. So that is my story and I'm sticking to it. If you want to comment on the thumbnail, let me know. But let's do today's surprise subscriber shout outs. We're going to go with Punisher XS. And we're going to go with Agu Rhythm. Both of you are today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. You know what? There's only two other people, so we're going to go with Life is Good and Pino as well. So you guys pretty much know what to do at this point. Just once the video uploads, you could place a link to either your YouTube channel or video, or to your social network, or to something that you sell on eBay or Amazon, and I'll approve it. So if you see a link, that means it's been suitable for all audiences. Go support them. So if you want to hit the thumbs up, that's great. Let me know what you think. If I got a good deal on this, would you have bought it for that price? And leave that in the comment section. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you.